Hi everybody, this is BJ Thomas. Don't go anywhere. Profiles is coming right up.
Welcome to Profiles. I'm Tiffany Walker. This week's guest is legendary hitmaker BJ Thomas. Since 1967, BJ has sold over 70 million records that include 15 top 40 pop hits such as Hooked on a Feeling and Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. He has also released over 100 albums while earning 5 Grammy Awards along the way. After a short break, we'll join our host Mickey Burns as he welcomes singer BJ Thomas to Profiles. Welcome back to Profiles. In 1968, BJ Thomas recorded what would evolve into his signature song, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. It was written by the songwriting team of Burt Bacharach and Hal David for the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Raindrops would win an Academy Award in 1969 for Best Song while earning a Grammy Award for BJ Thomas. So let's join our host Mickey Burns as he welcomes recording star BJ Thomas to Profiles.
So what's the glory in living? Doesn't anybody ever stay together anymore? And if love never lasts forever, tell me what's forever for?
BJ Thomas.
Mickey, how you doing?
Welcome to our show, Profiles.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure having you here, especially on your birthday. This is a first for us.
Yeah, it's my birthday today.
It is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Of course, you were one of the most respected and recognized voices in the country, basically, and it's been quite a ride for you.
Well, yeah, it's been great. I've had a long, I never really had any idea I'd be around this long. I don't really fit the demographics anymore for radio and a lot of things, but it's I love to do what I do, so thanks to you and people like you, I'm still around. So
well, you're here in New York City, and you're performing tonight at a club on Staten Island called the Muddy Cup, and both shows are sold out, so you have a lot of fans out there.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky guy.
Yes, you are, and of course you've sold, for our viewers, more than 70 million records since your career began in 1967. And I read somewhere that you said that it all came about accidentally, in that when you first started out you didn't have any songs of your own, and you're saying songs of your heroes, basically, which were Jackie Wilson, who was great, Little Richard, and Elvis. So you had some strong heroes.
Yeah, I love those guys, and ever since I was just a little kid, I was always around gospel music, country music. My dad was a big country music fan, and then of course when Elvis came along, well, that really excited everyone. And I happened to get in a band when I was 15 years old, and I never had any idea I'd ever have any hit records, but we just played dances and what have you. And then, sure enough, I had my first hit record in 1965.
You sure did.
And before any of these people were born, and I've been doing it ever since.
And you've had some incredible success. 15 top 40 pop hits, 10 top 40 country hits, 5 Grammys, 11 gold records, and have released over 100 albums in pop, country, gospel, and adult contemporary since 1967. During this,
kind of overdoing it, don't you think?
I mean, it's an incredible record. And during this this run of success, what was your biggest challenge during those years?
Well, probably it was just a learning process. I was very lucky to get into music. It's been a great way for me to express my emotions and feelings, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning all the time about how to sing and about how to be with people, and I used to think it was just all about me, and now I realize that's not exactly the case.
Sure, and of course, many of the performers that we have on the show we always ask them, you know, what's the key to your success? What's the secret? And I read a quote by you as far as what you regard one of the secrets to having a long recording career. And you said it's the ability to believe in the message of the song you're performing. And a lot of times it comes down to how the singer makes the audience feel. That's a key.
Well, I think I still agree with that. The music to me is about the feeling, and I don't think you can, you can't fake the feeling, because people won't get it if you do. And so it's always been an emotional thing for me. I'm not technically, I'm not technical. I'm not technically a great singer or a great musician or anything like that. But when it comes to feelings, I think I feel my music as much as anyone ever has. I don't know if that's
is that something you can learn along the way, or is it something you have to have?
Well, I grew up in Houston, Texas, and my big heroes were the black singers, with Bobby Bland and Jackie Wilson, and those guys, and they were what you call soul singers, and they put a lot of soul in what they were doing, and so I always wanted to feel my music like they seemed to feel it.
Some of your million-selling singles for our viewers, "I'm So Lonesome I Can Cry," that was your first big hit, which was a ballad, tear-jerking ballad. "Eyes of a New York Woman," here you are in New York today. "Hooked on a Feeling," which is not the Ooga Chukka one.
No, this is...
That was like Blue Suede. Was that before you or after you?
That was after me.
That was after, I thought so. And "I Just Can't Help Believing," which I hear on the radio all the time. And of course, your signature song, I think, would be "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head."
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean mine will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me. Because I'm free, nothing worrying me.
Yeah, I've grown to really love "Raindrops Keep Falling," whereas it was not exactly something that I enjoyed doing when I first did it, because once I had "Raindrops" out and I started working with Burt Bacharach and Hal David, then everybody wanted me to put a tuxedo on and
that wasn't you.
Put a tie on it. Sometimes it's me,
but the song did win the 1969 Academy Award for Best Song. It was written for the movie, for those who remember, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid with Newman and Redford. And you said about singing that song and that song being your song, you said, "I was in the right place at the right time and probably got their best song ever." Referring to Burt Bacharach and Hal David. That was their first million-selling song.
It was their first million seller, and I had 4 gold records before that, so I've always been kind of proud of that. And those guys, of course, Bacharach as a composer and Hal David as a writer are some of the greatest of all time, and so that was a great thing for me to work with those guys.
And you were introduced to them by Dionne Warwick. Is that true?
Well, kind of in a roundabout way. I had a couple of gold records come into the Scepter offices, and she happened to be there when they came in, and so was Burt, and she took them into Burt and showed him the records and said, "Hey, you better write this guy something." And so he mostly worked with, well, he really didn't mostly work with females, but he wrote his best songs really for Dionne. But "Raindrops Keep Falling" was obviously not a female song, and so I just happened to be on the label and in the right place.
You sure were. And have you ever done a performance when you didn't sing it?
No, not since I had it out. You know.
They wouldn't let you off the stage, I guess.
Well, that's probably the only reason they're coming to see me. That's the only one they remember. But I have to do that one. So thank God.
Thank God.